Hello everybody, welcome to the I Am IT Geek YouTube channel. My name is Shabazz Dan. As ever, I am the IT Geek. Welcome back to another episode within my Microsoft SC100 Cybersecurity Architects exam topic series. We are in topic 14, which is the penultimate topic. We have one more topic after this, which will be topic 15, and that'll be the end of the series. It's been a long series, but a lot of information to share, and hopefully I've shared it at the right level, which has helped you prepare for your exam. So in the last episode, which was the start of topic 14, we kind of looked at endpoint security and looked in the demo, we kind of looked at the regulatory compliance, some of those controls and how to remediate those. So in this topic, we're going to look at more sort of managing devices, and we're trying to touch on Intune as well. So without further ado, let's get started with this episode. So as I mentioned, this is the Microsoft Cybersecurity Architect exam. This is the SC100. This is topic 14, part 2. And this topic is around designing solutions for securing server and client endpoints. And today we're going to talk about specifying requirements for mobile devices and clients. Then we're going to talk about specifying IoT and embedded device security requirements as well. Then the demo, we're going to jump in the Intune portal and look at some of the protections we can put in place with that. Have a bit of an overview of the Intune portal. So let's talk about specifying requirements for mobile devices and clients first of all. Intune is a cloud-based, for those who don't know, Intune is a cloud-based service that can control devices through policy, a bit like group policy but in the cloud essentially. This includes those security policies. The goal of any organization that's managing devices is to secure devices and the data they access. This task includes sort of organization-owned and personally owned devices as well that access your organization's resources. From a service perspective, Intune uses Azure Active Directory or Microsoft Entra for device storage and sort of permissions. And using the Intune Admin Center, which we'll look at in the demo, you can manage devices and tasks and policies as well in a central sort of location designed for sort of endpoint management. It's an MDM platform basically, mobile device management. Many organizations allow personally owned devices to access organizational resources, including email and meetings and so on. There are different options available and depends on how strict your organization wants to be. You can require that personal devices enrolled in your organization's device management services, so the personal devices have to enroll. On these devices, your admins can deploy policies, set rules, configuration features, and more. Or you can use policies that focus on protecting app data, such as Outlook, Teams, and SharePoint. You can also use a combination of device enrollment and app protection policies as well. Organization-owned devices should be fully managed by your organization and receive policies that enforce rules on protect data. Let's talk about some of the device considerations now. So, first of all, checking the compliance health of your device is very important. We'll look at some compliance policies in the demo. Device compliance is a significant part of managing devices, and your organization will want to set password or PIN rules and check for security features as well. You want to know which devices don't meet these rules, and this is where compliance comes in. You can create compliance policies that block simple passwords, require a firewall, set the minimum OS version, and much more, which we'll see later. You can use these policies and built-in sort of reporting to see non-compliant devices and their settings. This information gives you an idea of the sort of overall health and device accessing your organization's resources. We also have conditional access, and this is the feature of Microsoft Entra you can use to enforce compliance as well. So you can control device features and assign policies to device groups. All devices have features that you can control and manage using policies. An example is you can block the built-in camera, allow Bluetooth pairing, or manage the power board and much more. When you have a device group, you can create policies and focus on the experience or task like running a single app or scanning barcodes. You can also create policies that include settings that you want to always be on the device, regardless of who's using it. And you can group devices by OS platform, by function, by location, or anything else you choose, really. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about specifying IoT embedded security device requirements. So it's a bit of an overview of security when it comes to IoT devices. first got to have a strong identity. So use a strong identity to authenticate devices and users. Have a hardware root of trust for sort of trusted identity registered devices. Issue renewable credentials and use passwordless or MFA reviewed and and general Azure identity and access management considerations. Also, when it comes to least privilege, you can automate and use least privilege access controls to limit impact from compromised devices and or identities or unapproved workloads. From a device health perspective, evaluate device health to get device access or flag devices for remediation. Check security configurations as well and assess vulnerabilities and insecure passwords. Monitor for threats and anomalies and build ongoing risk profiles as well for your devices. From a device update perspective, continuous updates to keep the devices healthy is very good. Use centralized configuration and compliance management solutions for robust update mechanisms to ensure devices are up to date and healthy. Make sure you're monitoring security systems as well and plan incident response. Proactively monitor for unauthorized or compromised devices and respond to any emerging threats. Most IoT systems use either a connected product or connected operations architecture pattern. There are key security differences between these patterns. Connected operations or operational technology (OT) solutions often have on-premises devices that monitor and control other physical devices. These OT devices add security challenges such as tampering, packet sniffing, and the needs of out-of-band management and over-the-air OTA updates. Let's talk a little bit about this IoT architecture now. So we've got sort of devices and gateway layer. So the architecture layer we can see includes the immediate sort of physical space around the device and gateway that allows physical access for peer-to-peer digital access. Many industrial companies use the Purdue model included in the ISA 95 standard to ensure this process control networks both protect their limited bandwidth and provide real-time deterministic behavior. The Purdue model provides an extra layer of defense in-depth methodology. Then have, as you can see, the ingestion and communication layer. So data that's ingested into IoT solutions should be protected with the guidance in the Azure well-architected framework security pillar. Additionally, the IoT solutions, it's critical to ensure the communication for the device to the cloud is secure and encrypted using the latest TLS standards. We then have the device management and modeling layer. So this architecture layer includes software components or modules in the cloud that interface with devices and gateways for sort of data collection and analysis, as well as for sort of command and control. We then have the DevOps layer as well. So an enterprise IoT solution should provide a strategy for operators to manage the system. DevOps methodology that proactively focus on security includes centralized configuration and compliance management to securely apply policies and distribute the updated certificates. And finally, deployable updates to update the full set of software on devices, firmware, drivers, base OS and host applications, and cloud deployed workloads as well. So before moving to the demo, I just want to discuss Azure services supporting IoT security. So there is the Azure Sphere Guardian. So this connects critical legacy devices to IoT services with zero trust capabilities, including strong identity, end-to-end encryption, and regular security updates. Then there'll be Azure IoT Edge. This provides an edge runtime connection to IoT Hub and other Azure services and supports a certificate as strong device in identities. IoT Edge supports PKCS 11 standards for device manufacturing identities and other sort of secret stored on a trusted platform module, TPM, or hardware security module, HSM. We then have the Edge Secured Core program, which provides and validates whether devices meet security requirements for device identity, secure boot, operating system hardening, device updates, data protection, and vulnerability disclosures. The Edge Secure Core program requirements are distilled from various industry requirements and security engineering points of view. Windows for IoT. This is going to help ensure security access or access across key pillars for the IoT security spectrum. We have Defender for IoT, which we saw in an earlier demo and chatted about a little bit in an earlier episode. This is an agentless network layer security platform that delivers continuous asset discovery, vulnerability management, and threat detection for IoT and OT devices. Defender for IoT continuously monitors network traffic using IoT-aware behavioral analytics to identify unauthorized or compromised components. Defender for IoT also supports proprietary embedded IoT devices on legacy Windows systems commonly found in OT environments. Defender for IoT can inventory all IoT devices, assess vulnerabilities, provide risk-based mitigation recommendations, and continuously monitor devices for anomalous or unauthorized behavior. Finally, we've got the Azure IoT Hub, which provides an operational registry for IoT devices. IoT Hub accepts device operational certificates to enable strong identity and can disable devices, essentially to prevent unauthorized connections. IoT Hub provisioning of module identifiers that support IoT edge workloads as well. Okay, there's a lot of talking in that episode, but we're going to jump into the demo now. We're going to do a bit of an overview of Intune and show how the mobile device management works with that. So join me in the demo. The demo portal. We're actually in the intune.microsoft.com portal, as you can see at the top there. So this is mobile device management for Microsoft Cloud, really. So if you can onboard corporate devices, be it mobile phones or tablets or Windows end user devices. So this is again a bit of a dashboard on the home screen. It gives you some tells you status of your devices, etc. Here we can see all services, so we can see application protection, endpoint security, service management portal here for microservice, troubleshooting support, devices, groups, bit of tenant administration and users. But it's devices that we really want to focus on. This is where we can create all those different policies. So here we can look at the different platforms that are supported: Windows, iOS, iPad, OS, Mac OS, Android and Linux. So both mobile and end user device. Here's looking at device onboarding. We've got Windows 365, which is outside the scope of this exam, but I'm going to have some more content around VDI, so keep an eye out for Windows 365, how to enroll that. But here we've got more management devices. We're going to do configuration profiles, which is where we can configure what we want to be on devices. What a bit like group policy, where you want to configure certain settings, might be the background, might be the access to the control panel, etc. Here we've got the compliance. This is what we can create compliance policies here. To basically align a security baseline and compliance baseline on our devices. So essentially, your devices that are onboarded into Intune have to adhere to the settings within this compliance policy before they're given access to resources, for example. That's an example of what you can do. It's a bit of a compliance benchmark baseline that you can set. And then obviously we've got conditional access integration as well, which we mentioned, so you can do some device management and device configuration around conditional access. But we've also got patching and patch management as well. So we've got Windows updates, Apple updates, and Android updates. But again, you can create a patching update, you can create update rings, you can create feature update profile, quality update profile, and driver update profile, as well as monitoring all these different profiles and different update rings. So there's a lot to managing devices in Intune. Again, if we just go on Windows, for example, we can take a look at compliance policies. We can create one. Select which platform, so is it Windows 10 or later, which is Windows 11 essentially, or is it anything older? We'll go for Windows 10 or later. And again, it gives you the policy type already, which is grayed out. Here you can just give it a name, a description if you want. And here's where you start to try the different compliance settings. So we've got custom compliance, which we can do. We've got device health, which includes enabling BitLocker, secure boot, and can make sure these are enabled. And if they're not enabled, you can block the device. Look at device properties, so you can set a minimum OS version that has to be compliant with on mobile devices as well. We've got custom manager compliance as well, so require device compliance from config manager if you've got config manager integrated. System security, so this is where you can integrate minimum password requirements, which is really cool. But also Defender for endpoints, this is where you can require Defender for endpoint be under machine risk score of clear, low, medium or high, depending on what your requirements are. And then the actions for non-compliance as well, again, You can set it to send email to the user or add the user to the retire list. So again, just want to give a bit of an overview of Intune device management. Again, I don't think you're going to be asked to do anything from a Intune perspective in the exam, but it could be a question that comes up around my device management. So make sure you do an overview of that. Make sure you spend a bit of time in your own demo lab, having a play with different policies and applying those to some of your test devices. So yeah, we've got one more episode in topic 14, topic 14. Then we'll be on to the final topic of this series. A bit of relief, if I'm honest. It's been a long series, and it's kind of, I don't like starting things halfway through. It's kind of preventing me from doing other stuff. I am going to be starting mixing up a bit now. After this series, that's it for the exam topic series for a while. At least at the end of the year, I want to focus on VDI and some other topics that are kind of interesting me recently. So keep an eye out for that content as well. So I'm going to start releasing that in between these videos. So even though these videos are kind of coming out in the week, I'm going to mix it up a little bit with some VDI content just to change it up really, because I'm going to start with that. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Make sure you check out all the links in the description around the Measure Up practice exam, the GitHub repository for the case studies, but as well as the Microsoft Learn topics for this series as well and this exam. So thank you everybody for watching. Until next time, goodbye.